Hello and welcome to Politics and Policies. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Today we want to look at the place of corporate social responsibility for sustainable business activities. Corporate social responsibility practices are crucial for sustainable business activities. However, some communities in Nigeria's Niger Delta are facing discriminatory payments from Shell Petroleum Development Company Limited, which are not in line with the law. Not at all. These communities and families have been paid 200,000 per hectare instead of 600,000. A difference from the usual rate before the 2014 to 2018 rental payment cycle. The affected communities have filed a petition for legislative investigation and written a series of letters to appropriate agencies and offices. Yet, Shell has refused to pay these communities. And of course, joining me on this program today is Barrister Chibuzo Obiajunwa. He is actually a legal advisor and counsel to the community concerned. Welcome, Barrister.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's good to have you on the program today. And also to my left here, we have Dr. Salisu Abdallah. He's a consultant also, and of course, for Parsley Consultants. And as a matter of fact, we are so glad to have you here today. It's actually Parsley Consultant and Emago Nigeria Limited. It's good to have you here today.
It's good to see you. It's good to be here.
All right.
Thank you very much,
It's a very wonderful day. Let's go straight to the questions that we have. I think the first question will start from Barrister, because Barrister is a counsel to the communities. Barrister, I want to ask you, it is obvious from the document at our disposal, okay, that as a matter of fact, it's as if all channels have been exhausted and yet nothing has been done. As a matter of fact, to get justice for the client has been something else. Why do you think Shell is acting in this manner in the first place? Because we're talking about corporate social responsibility here. Barrister?
Well, I think that Shell as an IOC, I think that Shell as the operator of the joint venture, because in Nigeria, Shell operates the joint venture. So I think that in that capacity, they are not receiving enough oversight. I think Shell is not receiving appropriate oversight. The sufficient amount of oversight that they should receive. When I say oversight, I'm not talking about what should be on paper. I'm talking about active, effective oversight that would ensure that Shell does what it's supposed to do, function as it is supposed to function vis-a-vis the Nigerian society. So, I guess the background, despite the fact that we have approached government agencies, we started from the National Assembly. The Senate resolution was passed in January, 24 January 2019. Since that time, with the Secretary to the Federal Government, the Secretary to the National Assembly, the Clerk to the National Assembly has written Shell, sent a letter to Shell, dated 4th March 2019. That same 2019, imagine that even despite that, the Solicitor General of the Federation wrote Shell. Subsequently, in July 2019, after then, still no cooperation. Shell said did not obey. Even till now, different agencies have waded into this matter. So what was to be expected is that the government will wield the big stick. In an ideal environment, the government will wield the big stick and make Shell do the needful. But that has not happened.
So, and that's the reason we are asking now. Let me get to Doctor at this very particular point in time. Doctor, do you sense anything fishy? Because from what Barrister said, it means there's been an intervention. Despite this intervention, nothing is still being done. Remember, Shell is a foreign company in Nigeria. and Shell is supposed to abide by the rules, dance to the tune of the constitution of the country, because you know the place of corporate social responsibility, okay, as far as business activities are concerned. Are you perceiving that something must be fishy somewhere for Shell to act in this manner?
You know, about, when it comes to this IOC, this International Oil Company in Nigeria, especially, Shell in particular, I was just wondering, when you said something fishy, I thought about that. Then again, just like the legal advisor said, we don't have enough oversight, because, they can't be taking law into their hand. When the Senate, the Senate of the country, promulgate a law, they pass a resolution, and you are going behind that Senate to go to court to, study that. Who is the Senate to tell you what to do? After goes, through series of, question, including, most of the ethics committee, when they came together that day, they thought they will, they would do the needful. Instead, they took the case to court. We didn't go to court. We want to settle this case, amicably, but they went to court. It was struck out. They go and do the right thing.
The case was struck out.
Yeah, it was struck out.
So what gave them the impetus to even go to court in the first place?
Because they think like the advisor was just saying just now. The Attorney General, send them a letter. Say within a couple of weeks, say this is the time. Within a short period of time, go ahead and do the needful. They ran to court, trying to tie down, the case. So which, they successfully did. But at the end of the day, they were asked to go and do the needful. Still, we have got through different agencies, you can think about, we still have to go back to Attorney General again to enforce the law. And here we are, series of agency letters from here and there, even the community, you can see there's a clip where the community were, they are pleading to the government, there was Buhari, now Tinubu, that, we need some kind of intervention. So then, the bone of contention when we talk about something fishy, fishy, I just think there's something there that, that's giving, somebody's backing, somebody's backing, because you can't just take law into your hand.
This
like
boldness is too much.
I just think that, nobody can police you. So if you can't be policed, then who's going to police the police?
Who's going to police the police? All right, let me get back to to Barrister once again, because I'm actually talking to Barrister because Barrister is the counsel to the concerned communities. On a normal circumstance, you are a custodian of the law, you are a barrister, you know the law, you know the Constitution very well. What do you think, normally, if there is this kind of lingering, despite the intervention, okay? Like Doctor was talking to us just now, he said, even the court itself said, hey, there is no basis here. It was being struck out. But despite that, nothing has been done. Normally, within the range of the Constitution, what do you think is originally supposed to be done? As in the way Shell is acting, what do you think is supposed to be the next thing that should be the next line of action constitutionally?
Yes. All right. Let me start by saying that constitution. This matter. The reason why the communities went to the National Assembly was because we were looking beyond just going to court. We wanted a situation where, if possible, there will be a holistic view of the situation with the way and manner, with the degree of the egregious nature of the infringement. So the communities were looking at, if possible, for new laws to be put in place to checkmate IOCs in Nigeria. That's part of why we went to the National Assembly. Checkmate IOCs in Nigeria. So to start with, the matter is just merely beyond the law courts, Then to be honest, it's we have a situation that even our constitution did not kind of anticipate, that we would have a situation where an IOC in Nigeria that is functioning under our laws would disobey government ordinarily.
That's what is even surprising me as a person.
Ordinarily. Government agencies like NUPRC they know what to do. The simple thing to do in this circumstance is to withdraw the license of the IOC because the IOC cannot function without the authorization of the Nigerian government. So you cannot be on one hand functioning with the authority of the Nigerian government, and on the other hand you are flouting the authority of the same government you're functioning under. And so the simple thing that would have happened was for the government, for the relevant agency in this instance, the NURPC, to now issue an ultimatum. You have 2 weeks, you have 3 weeks to obey this. He has gone through all the agencies of government, it has gotten to you, and you're yet to obey it. You have 2-3 weeks within which to do this. If you can't handle within those 2-3 weeks, we will withdraw your license.
So as it is, which agency of government? You talked about agency now.
Yes.
So that's why I want to ask this question. Which agency of government do you think is responsible for this payment? And why do you think nothing has been done? Because if you know this thing is legitimate, okay, as an agency that is responsible for a particular payment, and you know this thing is legitimate, it is constitutional, and the step is not being taken, and you are the one who is actually supposed to facilitate this payment, why not go ahead and do the facilitating, or call the people to order and said, this is what is supposed to be done, and you go ahead with the facilitating?
That is what I find most interesting in this thing. You see, Shell is supposed to operate. Actually, Shell operates the joint venture under the supervision of the NNPC. The NNPC is the Nigerian supervisor of the joint venture. Now, and I am aware, as someone who operates in the sector, that none of the IOCs can function without, like, for instance, make expenses, pay monies to communities without receiving authorization of the NNPC, particularly in regards to payment of compensations. None of them can do that. And so, and even the NNPC, when I say the NNPC, I'm referring to the NAPIMS. Now they are not known as NUIS. NUIS means NNPC upstream investment services. NUIS. Now, NUIS is the arm of the NNPC that is the direct supervisor of everything financial that the IOCs do. And so, and we've reached out to NUIS. From the response we get from NUIS, it appears as if they are even in bed with the IOC, because we had a meeting. Dr. Salisu is aware. He was part of that meeting. And the head of NUIS, he said he was going to get back to us. Till now, we had to get that feedback.
And that's the reason
in October last year.
That's the reason I was asking the question if anything is actually official. Let me get to Doctor at this very particular point in time. Doctor, I am being made to understand, of course, that as a matter of fact, the head of Shell Nigeria is from Edo State.
Yes.
So I feel, as a Nigerian who knows the plight of Nigerians, I know what happened to these people, where these companies operate, where these activities are being carried out. It's supposed to be the number one person to facilitate this cause. But as it is right now, can we say the powers that be has hand in it? And if they do, what do you think is supposed to be the next line of action?
Well, they've already, from the beginning till now, they've disobeyed the law. They have no regard for the law. And they have no regard for the community. Because the community at hand, you have all your, most of their installation and, properties and everything, you have to understand that some of this area that Shell is operating from, where they even tap into some of their good, resources that we have in this country. So even during the Senate hearing and everything, those kind of questions even came up. You know, I mean, where are you from? He says from Edo. Would you do that to your community?
In Edo State, if this thing is in Edo State, would he have been quiet?
He was as he was as quiet as a church mouse. You know, so I mean, you can't do that and say go ahead and make this payment and everything. You know, go back to what the barrister was saying was that so sometimes I wonder. I mean, we have met with the head of News, so 6th of October, November gone, December, January, today is March. He said, well, I'll get back with you, I mean, so, and, there was a lot of things that was said that day, which, I mean, I will not even try to, but the most important thing that we want solution. We're not looking for trouble. Even the community, I mean, Niger Delta community is not a community you can play with, but we know what we have been doing to make sure everybody is calm.
That's exactly what I was scared of, because the militias
with the new government right now, God forbid, with what's going on in the country, if they decide to come out now, nobody won't be able to hold them back. We're talking about 6 states. We're not just talking about one community. This one from Abia State to, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Rivers, Imo, everywhere. So I mean, this is going to be bigger than me and you. So that's why we are playing for them to, for the government to intervene. So we have, we went to the former Attorney General. He has done the best he could. To the extent that I'm a man of law. I believe, go through the normal procedure and protocols. Went from, we cleared the hurdle from the Ministry of Justice. From there, went to Ministry of Petroleum. We met all the people, all the stakeholders, everybody. They were saying, all they are saying to me, why are these people not paying?
Why are these people? So that's the question.
The barrister said, or the NURPC. I went there. I said, I said, are you guys, are you guys, are you going to compare this with? I said, yeah, within 2 weeks. Quote me. If they don't pay, we'll yank their license.
All right.
I said, okay.
Hold your thought for a minute. If they don't pay, we will yank their license. Let's go on break. After this break, we will be back to continue with the rest of the program.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome. It is still politics and policies. And here we are talking about social corporate responsibility. And in the studio right here, I have Barrister Chibuzo Obi Junwa, legal advisor, and of course, he is also the counsel to the concerned communities. And of course, he's not alone. I also have Dr. right here, of course, Dr. Salisu Abdullah. Well, as a matter of fact, we've talked extensively, but then there is something that I still need to talk about. If I don't say this, I don't think I'll be fair enough. Because as it is, we have a new administration. Okay? We have a new administration right now. Now that we have a new administration, Barrister, do you intend, because of course, if I could remember, the 10th Assembly, all right, it's not part of this yet, even though the case has already gone to the Senate and it has been handled already. Senate probably may be out of it for now. But then, this new administration, do you intend pushing it forward? Because as it is, from what Barrister and Doctor is saying, I am seeing no going back in this case. So what is the next line of action as far as this new administration is concerned?
All right. We pushed this to the last administration ended. Maybe we would have considered other options, but considering the policy, the policy direction of the new presidency, I'm optimistic that this new administration will handle this very effectively. So in that optimism, we had already complained to the president that matter is on the table. So we're confident that
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has it on his table as we speak.
Yes, it's on his table. We have complained to the new president, so we are confident that, considering his policy direction, I'm aware that he has even followed up on the civil service. He wants them to work faster and be more effective with their discharge of their duties. So I think we have something good going on here.
All right, but then let me get to Doctor at this point in time. Like Barrister said, he said already the president is aware of it. Now, from your experience so far, do you think there are some maybe holes to be covered? I don't know if you understand what I mean. If there are some holes to be covered as far as, because it is one thing for this matter to be on the table of the president, and it is another thing for it to get the appropriate attention. Because as a matter of fact, if you talk about the president's table, so many things are involved. All right. So what do you think about that?
Okay, so far, we are appealing to the president on behalf of the community. That the president himself is an oil and gas man. Remember, he used to work for ExxonMobil, so he knows how the IOC works. So I mean, he would designate somebody like I believe that once some of these documents gets to NNPC GCO, which is Mary Carey, so he usually minute on it and send it to the vice president upstream, which is a new lady now that took over from Adoke. I met Adoke myself, and he minute on it. He's the one that sent it to NAPIMS, which is now known as News. So, and we follow it up. Me in particular, I went to Lagos. I met with the legal, council, which is Aika Omiege. So we discussed about a lot of things, how this can be handled and everything. So at the end of the day, it took a couple of weeks, months, before we are able to have an appointment with the chief investment officer, which is Bala Wintu. Is the sitting chief investment officer right now. So a lot of things was ironed out. How this can be handled amicably. But this is March now. So that was back in October 6th, last year. Nothing has been done. No calls, no letter, nothing, nothing has been done from the other side, Shell or whatever. So I thought by now everything will be resolved amicably. So we are appealing to the new president now, everybody, the presidency that, this matter, should be settled, peacefully. We don't want a situation where they will now come and say, the presidency is now aware, nobody's aware of this and everything. So somebody need to call Bala in order, So, like I said before, so we can, the IOC is doing their own, like, there's no law, like they're bigger than life, so nobody's policing them. I go back again, nobody's policing them.
Nobody's policing them.
They're always going to police the police, so we haven't said that. We think, that this matter can be settled, amicably. You just call everybody, all the parties, that Shell.
But Shell doesn't want that.
No, it's because nobody have sit them down and, talk about it.
So who do you think is supposed to sit them down now?
Bala Wintu can do that, Mary Carey can do that.
So why are they not doing it?
That's why we're here, to reach out to them. So that's how, right here.
But they're aware of this case, as a matter of fact.
They're aware, for somebody to say, okay, well, I'll call, Shell and discuss with them about this and everything, and nothing has been done. So, I won't be the one that said there's a cover-up or, there's a romance, but, I'll let the pundit, everybody, do that because, everything that needed to be done has been done. Like I said, I'm a man of, law and protocols and procedures, so we went through every avenue, all the channels, just to settle this, but they still turn deaf ears,
They still don't turn deaf ears. Let me get to...
Yeah, so that's pretty much...
Let me get to Barrister at this point in time. Barrister, anything that has to do with the law and the Constitution, I come to you. I'm afraid, because I'm quite familiar with things that happen in that axis when it comes to companies, okay, that carry out activities in communities without meeting the demands of the community. We've had cases where the youths rise up, take laws into their hands. What have you been doing? It's so amazing that for this long time, okay, they've not been anything like that. What have you been doing that has been calming these people down? And do you foresee anything like violence if these people keep on holding on to what belongs to this community? I'm asking you because you are the counsel to the concerned community and you are a custodian of the law.
You see, the Niger Delta has always been a cauldron. In the Niger Delta, there's always something bubbling. There's always something. If it's not something concerned, there's always something bubbling. So normally, generally, it's always good policy, governmental policy to try to assuage whatever is always good governmental policy to assuage whatever is any grievance in Nigeria, that any legal, any legitimate grievance in the Niger Delta is always good. It's never bad policy. Now, as regards to this issue, we've done our best to interface with them to let them know that we're doing our best to discuss with the government to get in fact, they themselves, the members of the committee were present in the Senate at the committee's hearings. They were, of course, to an extent to give it legitimacy so that you know that okay, this would represent Niger Delta, actually from the Niger Delta. Members of committees were present. So those the representatives went back and still told their people, come, this is in progress. It was everybody calm down. So, and that has always been, we've always carried them along. I think part of the secret to maintaining peace in those areas are that they are aware minute by minute about what we're doing, and the fact that part of why we're not relenting, that's part of why we keep pushing, because the alternative, I don't want to talk about it. So that's why we keep pushing. And as we push, they are behind us seeing what we're doing.
So that's what's keeping them
That
calm.
is what is keeping them, because they can see that we are still pushing.
Yes.
Okay, meaning they have enough patience.
No. We cannot say when the patience will run out. It's the Niger Delta. There's always something going on.
There's always something going on.
Yes.
This is Niger Delta. You know the activities of the youths at the Niger Delta. All right, finally now let me ask you, Doc. As a matter of fact, what you're demanding for, don't you think Shell is somehow running away from it because they can't afford it? And as a matter of fact, let me ask this. What if they come up today and they said, we are not able to, because you talked about negotiation, you say you're a man of peace, you're a man of law, you follow protocols and all of that. If they come up today to say, well, this and this we can't afford, but this and this we would be able to do, will you succumb to that?
No, let them come first. Let them come first. Let's sit down and talk first.
But are you trying to say there've not been any form of interface between
nothing,
or since that time until now?
Nothing. Let them talk. Let's hear from them. Then we'll take that to the community. Let them say something. This is what we can do. This is what we can do. Well, we believe in this. We don't believe in this. Believe this or whatever. This is the reason why this is happening. This is the reason why this one is happening. So at least, just like the councillors say, so we can go back to the community. We'll have a dialogue with Shell. This is what they're saying. So from there, if they decide, we don't know right now. There's a lot of we are communicating with them, so they'll be patient. They would like to hear from us. We brief them. This is where it's going. So we don't pray, for something to trigger. Something is always boiling and brewing out there.
Especially when people are pushed to the wall.
So when you push to the wall,
Also that there is
you have it all the way
line.
here. They'll get you to the jugular. Say, okay, and guess what? We always know what's going on in that region. So you or me or anybody, you can right now as we are speaking, we don't know what's cooking there, but we know that the people we are dealing with, we've calmed brought it down, saying, look, there's work in progress, and we'll keep pushing, so we're giving them an update, they know what's going on. So, and, personally, I believe that with the new administration, this can be resolved, very, very soon, so we just plead, for the presidency and every agency at large to be able to come to our aid. We don't want any problem. We just want this to be settled amicably, and everybody will be, happy ever.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So,
According to what Doctor is saying, he wants everything, like he has always said, he's a man of peace, he's a man of the law, follow everything to the letter, protocol, and all of that, and he wants everything to be done amicably. So it will be fine if Shell would want to come to the round table so that everything can be talked about. Let's know what you can do and what you cannot do. On a final note, Barrister, what would you have to say to the community and, of course, to the government as we speak? The federal government can hear you loud and clear. Whatever you say here, they can hear you loud and clear. So what would you want to say as your final word to the federal government and, of course, to Shell and to the community concerned?
Okay, I wish to start by letting everyone know that on all the issues raised, because to start with, it's not just the discriminatory. There are other issues that were also complained about 6 of them. Shell is owing land rent for like 16 each South Focados pipeline for years, for decades.
And they've been operating.
Generating
revenue.
They haven't paid those things. So on all the issues, they haven't done it, they haven't made any offers, they haven't come to the table. And so I think it's time for the federal government to wield the big stick. Otherwise, what is happening, what it means for the citizens of Nigeria is that the federal government regards the IOCs as more, regards them, prefers to patronize them than to protect its citizens and their citizens' rights. That's that's what this means, because there's nothing else. So I will pray that the government, in fact, we're confident as well that this government will also call the SPDC to order and ensure that everything, what is due to communities is made available to them. Thank you very much.
If there's anything I like, is the confidence that both of you have in this administration. This is going to be the size of politics and policies today. Doctor have said he has confidence in this administration. And the same thing the barrister have also said. As a matter of fact, let's see if the presidency will yield to the cry of his children. But then, from all indication, it is no retreat, no surrender for both doctor and barrister as far as this case is concerned. Will Shell come to the drawing table? Will they make this payment anytime soon? Thank you very much, Doc, for coming around on politics and policies today. Thank you very much, barrister, for taking out time to be here. We know of your schedules.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Viewers, have a beautiful day. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.